Hi, my name is Riley Miller, and I'm going to tell you about my service learning project. I did my project at Rossridge Bilingual K through 8. It is located on 6, right across from Tucson High School. I really admire this school and believe in its mission statement and its vision. Its mission statement says, at Rossridge Bilingual Magnet K through 8 school, all students strive to excel academically and socially in a bilingual, biliterate, and bicultural environment while embracing multiculturalism. And its vision says, at Rossridge, all faculty, staff, and students will create a challenging learning environment that encourages high expectations by promoting creative minds, leadership qualities, dual language proficiency, and an appreciation for cultural diversity in order to prepare students for a global future. My freshman year in college, I worked at Rossridge in a self-contained room for students with autism, so I was somewhat familiar with the school and their programs. But this time around, I decided to do my hours at their after-school program called Si Se Puede, which in English means, yes they can. This would be a very different experience for me because for the past 3.5 years, I have only worked with students with disabilities, and now I would be working with typically developing kiddos in a different setting. As many of you know, this was the perfect placement for me. It is a combination of teaching, which I love, and a school which has a large emphasis on Mexican culture, which is something I'm very passionate about. Growing up, I've had lots of exposure to Mexican culture through friends and school. With my friends and as a student is where I spoke most of my Spanish. It was interesting to get to use my Spanish in an academic setting. I had to tweak it a little bit. So what exactly was I doing at Rossridge? I was tutoring students and helping kids with their homework. For the first hour from 3 to 4, I was with elementary students in the cafeteria, and from 4 to 5, I was with middle schoolers in the library. The first couple of days was actually a little bit rough, and I was having a hard time connecting with the kids. Eventually, the kids started getting used to having me there, and they gradually started asking me for help and talking to me in both English and Spanish. Each day, the Si Se Puede director, Miss Dania, would send me to walk around the lunchroom and sit with different kids to make sure the kids were either reading or doing their homework. Sometimes she would assign me to different groups of kids or different grade levels. The homework was interesting because in some weeks it would be in Spanish, and other weeks it was in English, and sometimes it had a mixture of both Spanish and English. One of my favorite things I got to do was where my special ed skills came into play. There were third grade twin girls who were at about a kindergarten or first grade reading level. The director had me bring them into the hallway from 3 to 4 and work on their reading with them. I was able to bring different books for them, and we worked on different reading strategies. We also built off what they already knew to strengthen their reading. By the time my volunteering came to an end, I could see a significant improvement with their reading. Hopefully, someone will continue to work with them, or their parents will start to help them at home. What I found out after a couple weeks of volunteering is that from 4 to 5, while I was helping the middle schoolers, elementary went to a variety of activities that they could participate in depending on what they were signed up for. They had the option of rec and sports, cooking, mariachi, or folklorico, a traditional Mexican dance. I was surprised by the number of kids that were signed up for those. I knew the school had its bilingual elements, but I had no idea the school had these activities available for the students. With the permission of the director, I was able to go watch the various activities. The activity that was most interesting and looked the most fun was folklorico. They practice and learn a routine for a performance they do at the end of the year, in partner with the mariachi band. There was a group of third grade girls that I would help a lot in the lunchroom to do their homework, and they loved that I would come and watch them practice. And their teachers even taught me a couple of moves, which was really a fun experience. Although I wasn't allowed to take pictures at their practices, I was allowed to use videos of their performance and other pictures from Google. Overall, I loved my service learning project and I will continue to volunteer there next semester. I learned a lot, improved my Spanish, and got to see a new aspect of Mexican culture that I wasn't familiar with, all while helping kids. If anyone needs more hours or is interested in volunteering, they are always looking for more help.